It's freezing.
It's cold. It's 27 degrees. Wasn't it 32 when we left?
Yes, it was.
Holy shit. It's cold here. I'm amazed. Up north it's snowing like crazy.
Yeah, and it's all icicles on it.
Anyway.
We've opened this to give us a little bit more lighting this time. We're not parked inside of the parking lot. As always, welcome to another midnight showing. I'm Kelly.
DJ. Oh, gosh.
And we just got out of Big Eyes, and then we drove to a parking lot that had lighting.
Yeah.
And possible warmth once I get this heater going. It is freezing in this thing. Oh my god.
I'm amazed it hasn't snowed. I got frost in my backyard, but that's about it.
It snowed yesterday. I had to push carts in it, damn it. Oh man. So yeah, we just got out of Big Eyes, and for the non-spoiler version, go see this film.
Go see it.
This was good.
It's really good. It's directed and produced by Tim Burton, and you probably wouldn't tell if you missed the credits.
His first movie without CGI background created worlds in like 10 years.
In like 10 years.
Might even be longer now that you think about it.
That's true.
Ever since they created the CGI worlds.
Okay, so any of you Channel Awesome, that guy with the glasses, Doug Walker fans out there, this movie has been teased for us since the Nostalgia Critic did his Grown-Up Alice, signed kinda sorta in Underland review.
Returns to Underland.
Kinda sorta Underland.
Oh my god. And we thought it was going to get canceled so they can make Adventure Time with Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter. But yeah, this is it's about a paint fraud from the 1950s and 60s where a man stole his wife's work and, well, produces his own, blackmailed them to keep making paintings. It was harsh. Yeah. And if I were to compare this to another true life story that came out just recently that I saw and reviewed, this blows Unbroken out of the water. Unbroken was okay. I know that a lot of people say that it was amazing because they want to kiss Angelina's butt, but
Unbroken wasn't that bad to me. It just kind of drug in the middle and a little bit. But
especially once they got to the internment camp. It just drug so badly.
And all
drug, but all it was torture the movie.
It wasn't awful.
Yeah, it wasn't awful. It looks nice, and for a first time, if it really was Angelina's first time, I still haven't looked that up. It was pretty good. But completely comparatively, my god, this was like a perfect representation. The only thing that I feel even a little bit bad about is that they got Christoph Waltz to play the bag. I think that he played him a little too comedically at times.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was...
I don't know if that was just Christoph Waltz being himself.
It's definitely a better performance than Horrible Bosses 2.
I wouldn't call him a villain. I wouldn't call him a bad guy. I just call him the antagonist of the story. He's the guy who...
stole the work.
Yeah, stole the work of the real artist of these paintings by this woman. I'm blanking on their names all of a sudden.
Margaret, Walter, no, something Keane.
Yeah. Keane. Margaret Keane, who painted these like very influential like big eye paintings. They're basically like children, boys, girls, but
with
not
giant eyes.
The eyes are the biggest part of this thing. They're supposed to convey emotion, but in this day and age, they're not cute. They're not emotional. They're just kind of creepy.
They are creepy as hell.
And Christoph Waltz's character, Walter Keane, comes in
and basically seduces her.
Yeah.
They get married and they try to sell each other. At first, it seemed like they're trying to sell each other. He's trying to sell both of their works and say, "Oh, well, blah blah blah," and through a sheer misunderstanding, someone takes the big eye paintings as his work and he doesn't correct them so that he can sell a painting.
Yeah,
it's understandable and it builds progressively.
That is, in fact, a red flag. I'm gonna go back a bit and say he proposed to her because or he proposed to her within like 1 or 2 weeks. That is a major red flag right there. Obviously, he's trying to get at something.
Not necessarily, because he did it right when she got the. Now we're going into the spoiler territory, but she didn't. He proposed when she got the letter from her ex-husband about trying to steal their daughter, custody of their daughter, which I can completely 100% get behind, because at that time they were more friends. It just seemed like he offered it so that they could keep her daughter from getting taken.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's the way it all seemed to me, and it didn't seem until that scene where the people mix up his work for hers that he really started to go out and steal it. But then you find out that wonderful, wonderful twist later that kind of just blows everything that I just said out of the water.
Yeah.
Do
we want to get into that in this review, or do we want to?
Maybe a little bit later, because in case somebody who doesn't like spoilers. So finishing up the spoiler-free zone, go see this film. It was great. It was enjoyable. And although I do feel that Christoph Waltz did kind of play Walter a little comedically at times, he was still fun to watch.
Yeah, the woman is played by Amy Adams. Mm-hmm. Another good work. Another good movie.
And shout out to the asshole critic playing, once again, another asshole critic.
Terrence Stamp came back. It was fun. It's just his voice. I love it.
He's just a damn good actor, and I just wish that he played more than just an asshole. It's okay. You don't need to do this.
That's what he's good at. It's just his voice. He's the villain. He could play Jafar in the next Aladdin movie if he wanted to.
You can turn on your heater if you want.
Live action Aladdin with Terrence Stamp as Jafar. That would be lovely.
I don't know. He might play him a little too British. But that's not bad these days. Everybody else only plays British accents when they're supposed to play like French. Just ask everyone in Les Mis.
Wow. Yeah.
Sorry, but the only person who is actually doing a freaking French accent, even though they're all supposed to be French, is the guy who's playing the barkeep, the comedic barkeep, and it's hilarious because he's one of the few British actors in that damn piece.
Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yes.
We got an Australian playing Jean Valjean. We got
with a British accent.
We got an Irishman playing what's his face? Javert
with a British accent. With a British accent.
We got
in France.
We got two Brits playing French people.
And they actually managed to do a French accent.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's go into the meat of the actual Big Eye review, and we'll save our opinions for Les Mis another day. But yeah, I mean, this movie feels like a Tim Burton film, even though there is no CGI.
Yeah.
Everything is just colorful. It kind of reminds you of Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah, it takes place in like the 50s, like right after, not too long after World War II. Mm-hmm. And that's where like she got the inspiration for these, the Big Eye kids.
No, she got the inspiration for the kids from her daughter, and because one time she went deaf for a while.
Yeah.
Because of a surgery. So she relied so much on her eyes, and that's where she thinks that...
Sorry, I was mixing up the stories. That's just kind of how I felt. Maybe it's because Christoph Waltz...
Yeah, that's Christoph Waltz.
Use that as an excuse to sell the paintings.
That's his fake story.
One of many.
One of many, yeah. He flips on so many stories.
He has more stories to justify his crap than the Joker did in The Dark Knight.
Do you want to know how I got these paintings?
Wow.
My dad was a drinker.
Wow.
One night, he goes off crazier than usual. And he grabs a box of matches. And he just starts flicking them at me and my mother. And we had to run. We locked ourselves inside of the workshop.
That was a freaky part.
We ourselves. But he just wouldn't stop. He started to burn us out, as he would say, laughing as he did it. Trying to put out the fire, my mom accidentally knocked over a turpentine can. And, well, why so serious?
That's basically the scene.
That is basically the scene.
When they figure out that he's pretty much an asshole.
Oh, no, long after they figured out they basically.
Oh yeah,
an asshole.
when she
this
decides.
is when the critic basically calls him out for being a talentless hack.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as we said, Terrence Stamp. I wanted to make sure I say that right. Terrence Stamp plays a critic inside of this. And he's just a dick.
Yeah, when the paintings start blowing up, everybody's taking notice, and he catches wind of it, and writes a review basically saying that he's a talentless hack and it's very amateur.
Oh, he went on TV and said he was a talentless hack and amateur. Yeah. Back in the 50s when nobody had a TV.
Yeah, so like later on they like go to the party where Terrence Stamp makes an appearance, another appearance.
Mm-hmm.
I would have loved to have seen more of him.
I really would have too. I mean, I really kind of wish that when she told her story that he was gonna make another appearance and like he would come to the courtroom to testify or something like that. That would have been awesome.
Yeah, and so Christoph Waltz is humoring himself and like mingling with the people, and they're like kind of awkward around him. And someone tells him like, "Have you seen the Times?" And goes and reads the magazine, and it's a review by Terrence Stamp saying
the work was, let's see if I can quote some of the lines from it, grotesque. An appalling production of mediocre work. And what was the other line they flashed to? Oh, what was it? Mind-numbingly something.
I can't remember. And he freaks the flip out, and Terrence Stamp becomes a ninja for 5 seconds. Christoph Waltz grabs a fork, is like screaming up in his face, grabs a fork off the table,
and just catches him, like right there. And the way they shot that, I mean, you swear that you just jumped in a superhero movie and a guy just like caught a knife.
Yeah, obviously this isn't the first time that's happened to him.
I bet not, with how much of an asshole critic he was in this. Yeah, Terrence Stamp is just playing Terrence Stamp in this, and he's an asshole. And when Walter flips out, I can't help but be on his side during this whole argument, because the critic in this movie is everything that he says. He doesn't like him because he's popular. He's only targeting him because he said he was bad initially, and he doesn't want to flip-flop and say that there might have been something to the work that he missed, and maybe he could have just said, I still don't like it. I haven't seen a piece that has changed my opinion of this. But instead, he goes behind their back to get a private viewing of the painting before it's supposed to be unveiled, well, to write a review to get it kicked out of this unveiling because it's supposed to go inside of art history. Fair enough if he thinks that it's not supposed to be there, but he didn't know anything about this until he figured out that he hadn't disappeared after his first reviews. Yeah. He was just an asshole, and Christoph Waltz's arguments were completely 100% legit. Say what you want about him, but at that moment, I probably would have stabbed the critic too. Not that it'll work, apparently, with those ninja reflexes. Yeah. But yeah, after that heartbreaking thing, they all go home, and Christoph Waltz drinks a lot. And that whole scene about the matches, yeah, that is basically how that scene goes down, and it is scary.
Yeah.
Except for the fact that they waited until he lit the studio on fire with turpentine, which that house should have been gone inside of his drunken state. I'm sorry. But they waited until they lit the studio on fire to go out the door they're standing next to and rush to the cars.
They rush to the car.
Yeah, they rush to the cars, they leave, they hide out inside of
they go to Hawaii.
And trying to make new life for themselves, yeah.
Year passes. He finally tracks them down.
And says, if you want me out of your life, paint 100 more paintings for me. And she obliges until she signed them all with her name.
She's visited, before that, she is visited by Jehovah's Witnesses, and she converts, and their book says, don't lie. Jehovah doesn't like liars.
It says the people who actively lied to get you to open the door so they can shove pamphlets in your face.
Yeah.
But religious things aside, I'm pretty sure that there really isn't a book of Timothy. Yes, the book they give her has a...
nobody knows. They don't listen to the explanation anyway. They slam the door. My dad did it like a month ago. Dude, it was hilarious. I'm just like, congrats.
Yep.
You deserve a cookie. We're not interested. Oh, it was good. That was good.
But yeah, and yeah, that basically inspires her to turn her life around and start taking credit for everything. The courtroom scene kind of drug a little bit. I did like that he walks in with this army of lawyers.
Yeah.
From the newspaper company that he keeps selling all of his articles to.
Yeah.
And they basically come up with all this evidence showing that Margaret Hatch claimed that the works were hers and blah 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 and all this other stuff. And said they'd like to dismiss the print of libel. And it's like, as far as I can tell, libel is not the problem here, so drop from the docket is charge of libel. They all pack up and start walking out the door. We're all just, wait, where are you going? Oh, we just wanted to take care of the libel charge. You're the one being sued for slander. Bye! And I just leave him in the dust. And I'm just sitting there.
Now, a sane person would have been like,
give me another lawyer, please?
Yeah, I'll take the time you're giving me. You're offering to me to find more lawyers.
Instead, he says, I've always been a neon myself. I don't need a bunch of suits to explain this to me.
So then, we see scenes where the news is going out about the trial. I think that's what it was, right?
Yeah.
And they're saying that he has no chance. The only legal background he has is watching Perry Mason.
Yeah. The whole time throughout this whole thing, we're being narrated to by the reporter that reported on all of this for his gossip column. He was the one that basically caused the lawyers to take over the case so that they could make sure they're not sued for libel. But yeah, he's narrating this the entire time as if he's just telling a story from the background. Kind of, for those that have seen it, Bacano style. But it's... he's sitting there with a typewriter and he's like, I felt bad for my good friend Walter. You see, after the lawyers had left him, he decided to fend for himself, and the only legal background he seemed to have was watching Perry Mason. And it does look like that. He keeps screaming, mistrial?
Mistrial. Just throwing out legal terms.
His testimony was just hours of him talking and making up stories.
I think the judge would have thrown him out about at the halfway point of that.
Not even the halfway point.
Just for pissing him off and being a jackass.
The judge legally does have the right to do that if he thinks that it's pointless and warranted. He could ask for... he can actually get to the point, and if he doesn't, he can kick him off the stand. It's his legal prerogative.
And so the bailiff, gives him the Bible. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? Yes. He goes, yes, in the name of God, or whatever.
Yes, he says, yes, and then they say, in the name of God, and it's like, of course.
Of course. And so he just goes on bullshitting for, 5 minutes?
No, I think it was more like a couple of hours.
It was a couple of hours, but it was a lapse.
The way that they showed the passes of time in there, it was literally like 5 minutes for us.
Thank God.
Yeah, but you really felt that scene where you're just like...
I feel so bad for the jury.
Did you notice the guy was falling asleep, but the women were all engaged?
Yeah.
There's a lot of really, really good subtle things going on just in the background of these.
Doug needs to do what you never knew.
What you never knew about Big Eyes.
I never knew that.
We gotta wait for it to come to the DVD before he thinks about doing that. But I don't know. He's got his hands full with Matrix Month. That's gonna be interesting. But yeah, and basically the trial comes down to what I said they should have done from the start of the trial when we were sitting there listening to that goddamn story.
Throw him out.
No,
No,
make him paint.
Yeah. And of course he bullshits that too. He sits there, they have an hour to paint, and of course she sits down and she's all confident because we know she's gonna win because the guy's a jackass.
Yeah, and there's actually legitimate inspiration with her winning, especially when she named her piece when walking out of there a winner because the piece that she had painted for.
Yeah, exhibit 224. So yeah, she wins the trial because Walter, whatever his face was, I'm sorry, I'm blanking on his name again, is a jackass.
Keene.
Walter Keene is a jackass. And then we go into the credits and we see like the real life inspiration. Walter Keene apparently died in the year 2000. Broke and penniless. He tried to do this again.
He kept trying to claim that it was his, but it never worked out.
And then we get a picture of Amy Adams and the real Margaret
Keene.
Margaret Keene. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know what Unbridge was her real name? Urbridge.
Yeah. I want to say Ulrich, but that's not it.
I know.
Full Metal Alchemist fans. It was like it started with a U and ended with a Rick.
Ubrich. TCH.
Yeah.
Ulbrich.
Ulbrich.
Something like that. Yeah.
And to see them side by side, and of course she's old.
Yeah, and
she's happy enough.
And Amy Adams did look like her a lot, especially when they showed like the background, the old black and white photos of her.
Yeah.
I was really surprised by that.
Yeah.
And kudos, Amy Adams, I'm saying it right now, deserves Best Actress nomination. But unfortunately, I think it's past this next thing. She won't be in it until next year, in which everyone will have forgotten about the film because it came out in January. Or, let me rephrase that, they didn't pay enough money to get a nomination. Sorry, I don't think that those awards are legit. Especially when things like Selma, which has not come out yet, but has already gotten Best Picture and 4 other nominations.
Because if it's not nominated, it means they're racist.
Exactly.
Oh, we're still going to see that one.
Oh, I'm actually looking forward for that one.
Expect our Selma review soon.
Yes.
His Selma review. I don't know if I'm going to be in it. I might go with my parents.
Next Thursday?
We'll see.
Yeah, but we'll see on it. All I know is that I am looking forward to that one. I probably will be called racist for it, but you know what? It's my opinion. If you don't like it, put it in the comments below and actually comment on these videos. That was horrible.
Yeah, no, don't badger them.
But, yeah, I think that's all that we've had to say about that and how we liked it.
Yep. Big Eyes was a good one.
And
go see it.
Go see it. Play full price and support. There was also another weird thing. The company that was producing this, Weinstein. Have they made any other movies before? I don't remember seeing their name on anything.
I don't know.
I think this might be a new production company. But I might be completely wrong. I usually don't pay attention to those. It just caught my eye this time because of the way that was colored in the text during the opening segment.
That's how they get you.
That's how they get you.
No, it was
well, it wasn't Lionsgate.
The opening credits were very
Sony
stylized and like paint. That's just how Tim Burton likes to roll.
Yeah, and it really does show.
Yeah, it sets an atmosphere.
Exactly. So yeah, go see this film. Spend full price on it. Support this company because I would really like to see more from them.
Yes.
So, see you all
next time.